MAGA Mike, and the Republican House of Horrors. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. Just in case you forgot it was Halloween, Speaker Mike Johnson delivering a big scare and confirming Democratic fears about his leadership. House Republicans unveiling a new $4.5 billion emergency aid package to Israel that would be paid for by cutting an equal amount of funding from the I.R.S. And if such a deranged plan sounds not only fiscally irresponsible, but dead on arrival, you're not alone. The billions of dollars Speaker Johnson wants to cut from the I.R.S. will cripple the agency and diminish one of the most significant policy achievements of the Biden administration. Just last year, Democrats voting against united Republican opposition to pass the Inflation Reduction Act, which, among other things, boosted IRS funding by $80 billion. This much-needed infusion for the cash-strapped agency, specifically for targeting extremely wealthy tax cheats making more than $1 million a year. So House Republicans now want to make it harder for the IRS to collect taxes from multimillionaires and billionaires in exchange for aiding Israel as they engage in a hot war against terrorists. To be clear, there is no requirement that U.S. aid to Israel be offset by spending cuts. But should you believe it is irresponsible for America to continue to spend indefinitely as our national debt tops more than $33 trillion, the way to offset any additional spending would absolutely not be by cutting the IRS. That's the agency responsible for taking in revenue. And according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, the additional $80 billion Democrats passed for IRS enforcement would reduce the budget deficit by nearly $200 billion. So if Republicans succeed in cutting funding for the IRS, America will collect less taxes from billionaires, making it only harder for the United States to get its fiscal house in order. This is not complicated stuff, and it exposes once again what a joke House Republicans are. They act as if every day is Halloween, masquerading as fiscal conservatives while simultaneously cutting taxes for the wealthiest and big corporations and crippling the IRS. But the hoax sadly doesn't end there. Just last week, Johnson's first move as Speaker was holding a vote on legislation declaring solidarity with Israel and pledging to give the Jewish state whatever security assistance it needs to defeat Hamas. Yet despite that resolution overwhelmingly passing with the support of Republicans and Democrats, Johnson is now showing his cards and politicizing aid to Israel by only agreeing to help the Jewish state if Democrats agree to cut funding for the IRS. In other words, Israelis must be thinking, with friends like Mike Johnson, who needs enemies? How sick to hold up aid to a country that was just mercilessly attacked by terrorists over an unrelated, petty domestic policy dispute. But that is exactly where we are, thanks to MAGA Mike. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has requested a $105 billion aid package that includes $14.3 billion for Israel, $61 billion for Ukraine, and $9 billion for humanitarian assistance in the region. The president seeking to tie funding for both wars together, along with almost $14 billion to fortify America's southern border, to move the critical funding as fast as possible through the narrowly divided House and Senate. And that is the key difference. President Biden and Democrats want to work with Republicans to help America's allies abroad and secure a more peaceful world, while Republicans seek to turn the world into a never-ending horror film. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share, and join me tomorrow for more.